Hello YouTube, how we doing today? So I've mentioned a couple times I wanted to get onto building useful items, not just the critters I build. Um, so I went down to my local, that's not necessarily a Goodwill, but we'll say secondhand store, I guess. I picked up a lamp. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and take it apart. We'll see what makes it tick. I did plug it in while I was down there, make sure it worked. Paid $3.99, I believe, for it. Everything works. Just need to put a light bulb in it once I get it done. Just so happens my buddy Scott needs a desk lamp, so I've already got someone who needs it. He is a Jeep guy, just like myself. I believe I got a good base started for it. So we've got ourselves a nice gear set here. I believe that's our inner axle. Dana 20. That was, I believe, to a track lock. Maybe that's just another axle gear. No, that's track lock. It's got to be from the track lock that we broke. So basically, his lamp will not fall over when it's done. Then I'll make something that'll be nice and flexible, so he can bend his lamp. In theory, I really don't have many flexible items that I've actually built with yet, so chances are it won't be very flexible for him. But neither is this lamp here, so we'll go from there. We'll see what I come up with. Right now I'm going to go ahead and get these all nice and cleared up. My wife was helping me clean the garage. It's a lot cleaner. I got room to walk around in right now. I don't have any abrasives in my sandblasting booth right now, so I'm, as usual, going to be using my my wire wheel on my grinder, which to me is actually better anyhow, because I do like to keep my videos set up for the beginner, as I've mentioned before. So I'll be using my cup brush here, because I should with it be able to get into some of the crevices in these gears here. So I think the bearing I'm going to go ahead and leave on there, just because it adds a little bit. You won't be able to see it unless you're looking around, but it does add a little bit to it. So Scott has no clue that it's actually going to be gears. He just knows I'm going to build a lamp. So I told him he gets what he gets. I think that's going to look nice. So we're going to go get this stuff cleaned up. I'll get a couple tack welds on it, and that'll be the next time you see it. Okay, so right now I'm at kind of a crossroads. I'm liking what I got. Kept the bearing on the carrier brake. Which makes it spin nicely. However, I'm afraid that that bearing's eventually going to kind of break, or if it gets turned upside down or falls, it's going to break off, because it is a little wobbly. Since it is a Jeep guy, he does his own work on his Jeep, he will know that. So when I give it to him, I'll let him decide, and if I need to weld it up tight before he takes it, I will. I'll let that be his decision. He does have a welder, though, so he can weld it tight on his own if he needs to. So here's my crossroad, though. So I think, honestly, another transfer case piece would just top this off nicely. Big problem is that it's hardened still. I cannot drill through it. I don't have a metal lathe. None of you have a metal lathe. Well, you might, but it's just not happening. Running a lamp cord through here, along the outside of here, and into spring to top it off is just going to look hokey, in my opinion. Mainly because wife told me so. So, you know how it goes, right? So that's not going to happen. So what I'm thinking now, as awesome as that would look, I'm going to look through a couple other things first, but right now I'm going to be getting my spring puller and probably grabbing a couple more of our springs here. Grabbing a couple more springs off my head. It's an old 304 head. It's not going to be rebuilt. I got a 360 I'm actually picking up for $200 and rebuilding it here pretty quick for the CJ. Not pretty quick. Well, I'll be picking up the motor pretty quick, but it won't be going until after the summer probably, because I want my damn Jeep on the road for a while. So that's my plan right now with the lamp and the direction I'll be going with it. So maybe we'll see what else I find, but that's the plan in my head. So We'll take a couple springs, give it a little loop, put it in here. The wife did give me permission to tear apart a lamp she has in the back, so this could all change once I take a look at that. But otherwise, I got to have lampshade for this. I could use the piston for a lampshade though, but this is a full-size light bulb socket here. So, oh no, now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna cut to an end here. All right, so here's the design I decided to go with. Use that gear set. I'm going to use this piston here. It's from a 360 AMC motor Jeep. So far I'm keeping everything Jeep. Alright guys, I drilled a hole here for where the light bulb's going to go in. As you see, I got a nice recessed area here. That's because where the bottom here, this is what kind of kept the cord going in to the bottom of the light bulb. That just kind of screws in there. Alright. I got that in to the piston, but the piston wall was just a little too thick. We'll put it back in the vise. So that was just a little too thick. So I found a nice big drill bit so we can recess this in there. And that actually helps it, so we didn't actually need to get some epoxy. So I got that in there, so it's a nice snug fit. So hopefully that'll stay in there good. And we got our connection, so it'll still thread in there nice if I can reach my fat hand up there in the bottom. Oops, dropped that. I got that offset to the bottom because instead of putting an actual regular lampshade in there, my wife came up with the idea of these old KC lights that I no longer use to use as, since it's a desk lamp, a lampshade. So it's going to be sideways on the desk. So I will go ahead and drill a hole in the top now. We'll do the same thing. It should bring it down to about that level. I'll go ahead and adjust if I need to, because I'd actually like it to be about there. So when we put the light bulb in here, I have the KC light, keep it for a nice off-road Jeep thing. Now to get the piston bent to the angle I wanted it to be at, did cut off the flange on the other side, as you'd notice. So hopefully when it's done, it's still going to be at an angle upward, but it should give it a nice desk lamp look. Still won't be as much as I was hoping for, but it's going to work. It's going to be a nice little desk lamp when it's all done. Alright, so right now, busy weekend. It's Sunday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. First time I've got to touch the lamp this weekend. I started it last weekend, left off about right here. Buddy Scott and his wife, both aware of it, both know it's for them, both very excited about it. All I really have left to do, though, is run the wiring and hand it over to them. I work too damn much during the week. So, I've got the cord. I went and I picked up this glue. Yeah, thanks, phone. You know, I really just, I can't weld my lamp socket into something that's not weldable anyhow. So, where we left off, really, phone? Where we left off here, if you remember, I drilled into our piston, top and bottom, which I'm really hoping is not going to end up looking hokey, but where it is, I think it's going to work out right here. I'm going to have to take and fold this up a little bit to even get our lamp parts in there. So I'll probably just notch this a little bit, just enough to make that work. I got to clean up where I had to tack and make this really ugly. To make this piston was actually kind of a pain. If I can get this to work and show you the inside here. It was actually a pain to make this happen because it's the inside of a piston. That nut did not want to actually go and sit all the way at the bottom, so I had to make a nice big booger weld from our arm here to the nut to basically tighten up our KC lamp there. Sorry about the camera angle, it's kind of a pain. And that's what's keeping the KC lamp light shade there in place. and I did it a little premature, so now actually getting the lamp cord in there is going to be a pain, so I'm going to actually have to cut that weld, rotate the piston back to normal position, get the lamp wired, fold it back down again, and then re-weld that. And that's just what I'm going to have to do right now. Get it all wired up and then re-booger weld that nice and ugly like. But when he's using the lamp, you won't be able to see it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold this. We're going to, with this notch here, it's going to be pretty easy to go ahead and do it. Make it not look like a hack job. And that's where we're at right now. It's final touches of the lamp. I'll get all that done and we'll turn the camera back on. So typically I don't use the tripod, but today, at least this point, I am. I'm going to show you how I wired this up. You may have wired up a lamp before or not, I don't know. Where I'm at right now is basically I got the wire run through the piston. In order to make it look right, drilled a couple holes and just kind of weaved it through so it doesn't just look sloppy running it up just one side. I left a lot of slack just so I can bring it to you good enough to see. So basically I tied a knot in it here so it won't slip through our base of our bulb or our lamp socket here. I did do the bead chain, right? Basically I marked, since I got this at the Goodwill, I did mark the one that went to the copper screw, and then we got our silver screw, right, zinc plated, and our copper screw. So I marked the one with the Sharpie that went to the copper, and just kind of paid attention how I took it apart. So I glued this in with that craft glue that I had shown you earlier. I made sure that when I glued it, I kept the cord free so it'll slide in and out. As said, I tied a knot here so this won't pull through. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and pull that on through there now. Now when I did do this, I had to make sure that I did it from underneath so this will pull into the bottom part of it. Nice and easy. Line the bead chain up with its hole that's made for it. That's all it is. This goes in nice and easy. We take our next plastic part here. It's got its threads that line up. Go and thread that on. We don't want to glue it because you never know, you might have to take it apart if a wire breaks or something like that. Got our little lock ring. Just do that there. Take our bulb, so make sure it works. We'll make sure we got it right. See if we got her. Hey, we got her working light. So now we know our lamp works. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of feed our slack cord back through to the bottom here. We'll attach another knot in so that our lamp cord won't, well actually it'll be just fine when we get it weaved through here. It's not going to pull out the base, and when I give the lamp to my buddy, it's going to be just fine. So anyway, this is the extent basically of what our lamp is, and then go ahead and re-weld this on the inside so that our KC light isn't all wobbly, and we will have a finished product of what our lamp is. I'm basically just going to go ahead and clean up these last couple welds and put a clear coat on it of paint just so it doesn't get any tarnish or rust or whatever in case he gets some water spilt on it. That's pretty much the extent of it. The lampshade really isn't going to do all that much, but honestly, do you really stare at your lamp? I don't think so. So anyway, that's pretty much the extent of it.